Hi, my name's
Hello.
Jamie. I am the creator of Internal Alignments Healing Arts and this Internal Alignments Facebook page. Um, I am really curious and excited about meeting all of you. So I decided to start this project where I kind of interview or have a discussion with my community members and get to know you guys better and for you guys to get to know each other better. And so in the comments, I want you to maybe drop a line and say hi or let us know if you resonate with the messages. And it and also you can just reach out to Ian to say hi personally and tell him your story. So today we are having Ian McLean here. He's one of the admins on our site. And he has an interesting backstory where he's really gone through some major personal growths, big life lessons that he has moved through. And as he's been doing that, he's really been tapping into his spiritual self, tapping into the universe and source, and really moving with those energies. And because he's done all this growth and all this work, he has found that he's recognizing, let's say, that he knows how to manifest very well. So I want to first introduce you to Ian McLean. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Hi, everybody. Like she said, my name's Ian. I've started kind of been on this spiritual path for about 4 years now, and it's a beautiful backstory of how it all started, and it's something that I like to share with people because, I think we can all learn from each other, little things here and there, and I love sharing my experiences with others. And so, nice. Yes, it's good to share my story with you all.
Mm-hmm. So, before we really dive into the manifesting, will you tell me a little bit about what springboarded you into this ability?
Okay, great. Yeah, like I said, it's a beautiful story. It started not even trying to start a spiritual path, but I was with my cousin at a bartering festival, and I decided to take some Molly, some MDMA. I wasn't trying to take it to get messed up. I wasn't trying to take it to have a spiritual experience. I wanted to take it to experience what it does. And
Mm-hmm.
so I took this Molly, and about 45 minutes later, I told everybody, "Hey, I got to go take a walk." And when I took this walk, I just felt this. Oh, it was just it's almost indescribable, but just so much love, and I felt it in the center of my heart, and it talked to me, and it told me that everything is going to be okay no matter what. And there was that part of me that I always had inside me that I kept from people, but it kind of overflowed a few times a year where people were like, "Oh, where did that come from?" And,
Mm-hmm.
and there was this part of me that I didn't like to share because it was kind of dark. And I think all of us have trauma in our lives, but what that Molly did for me is it shook me loose and kind of broke me away from it, and almost like turned my light switch on, where it kind of flipped up and it said everything's going to be okay, no matter what
Mm-hmm.
happened in the past, no matter what, it's going to be good.
Mm-hmm.
And after the Molly wear it off, I didn't want that feeling to wear off of knowing that everything was going to be okay, and letting go of that darkness and allowing myself to be happy, optimistic, and live life a different way. I knew that I
Mm-hmm.
wasn't going to be the same ever again after that experience.
Mm. Beautiful, beautiful. And because you did all that work coming into the light, you notice that you've been able to manifest um, certain situations, objects, people into your life. There's like this new magnetism that you developed. So, what does manifestation mean to you?
Well, I think manifesting means basically creating, but not only creating, fully creating with all your powers. You know, putting full effort into it, not half-assing anything. You know,
Mm-hmm,
and also, yeah, yeah, just to allow life to and opportunities in life to help guide you because
mm-hmm,
that Molly did put me on the spiritual path, and I started meeting people and having experiences, taught me lessons that I took with me,
mm-hmm.
um, and it's been a beautiful ride so far, indeed.
Nice, nice. So, basically, what you're saying is you ask the universe what you need, what you're hoping for, what is going to be the best for you, and then you add some sort of co-creation in there. And because of that, you find these noticeable results. So, what is the first time you realized you manifested something?
The first instance after this my journey started is I was working a job, and I was trying to apply for a different position, which was a driving position, and I hadn't had my driver's license in a while, but it was a Friday, and I told them that I was going to work as fast as humanly possible to get my license as quick as I can.
Hmm.
And so that evening, I got onto the website of the DMV, was doing all the practice quizzes, figuring out what I needed to do and bring to the DMV. And so Monday, I went to the public office to get a copy of my birth certificate, which was one of the things I needed before I could even take my test. And so I took care of that on Monday. On Tuesday, I went to the DMV. I passed my test, and they asked me if I would like to set up a driving test in, portion. And I asked how long it was going to take before I could take my driver's test, and they said it was 3 weeks. I said, "Wow, that's a long time, but no worries." And she
Hmm.
says, "There's a outsourcing company that can probably do it faster for a little more money. I'll give you their phone number."
Hmm.
And so I said, "Okay, great." I went home and I called that phone number, and they said, "Yeah, we're about 3 weeks out." So I said, "Well, 3 weeks sounds better than 3 months. Sign me
Hmm.
up." And I told them that I don't have a credit card anymore. I just deal with cash. And they said, "Well, you have to put the cash down payment before we can put you on the list." I
Hmm.
said, "No problem. I noticed that your office is right down the street from my dental office where I have an appointment tomorrow. So I'll go to the dentist tomorrow, and after that, I will go into your office to put the down payment on for the driving test." So tomorrow comes around, and I do exactly as I told them I was going to do. And as soon as I got inside the building, she says, "Well, what are you doing today?" And I said, "Well, why do you ask?" And she says, "Somebody canceled. Would you like to take your driver's test today?" And I was like, "So you telling me it started at 3 months, and then 3 weeks, and then I kept on going, and it turned out to I can get my license in about 3 days." So that was my first experience where I was kind of blown away.
Yeah. And what I'm noticing there also is the power of threes, 333. So, I don't know if you or in knows much about numbers. It's interesting how when you see a set of three numbers, there's kind of a message in there or something to prompt you to recognize what's going on around you, where your thoughts are, and it's just part of the self-awareness practice. So, as you've kind of moved through this idea of, okay, um, something happened so fast for me, I didn't expect it, but I had already been asking basically the universe. Um, how did that help you start understanding your power, your own, a way you communicate with the universe?
Yeah. With the, like you were saying, the number three is kind of very powerful. And the way I look at it is like, I'm one of those three, and maybe the universe is one of those three. Maybe
Mhm,
the earth itself is one of those three, and we work together, and that's what kind of working together with the earth, which kind of gives life to everything on earth, and the universe, which gave life to everything in the universe. It's
mhm.
kind of like playing ball with the energies, larger energies around us.
Mm-hmm. That's beautiful. So, so you now can recognize how you co-create and and then you pay attention when you get these results. So, do you notice like when you're co-creating, are your results like big or are they small? Like big victories or small victories or big blessings, small blessings, or is it a mixture?
Um, it's kind of a mixture, and I've kind of been on this, doing this for 4 years, and I'm not a pro, and
Mhm.
sometimes I still create things that you kind of don't want to create. Like when manifesting it has like a double-edged sword. Where you want to make sure that you're creating the right things,
Mhm.
because when you start manifesting, it could be things that you got to make sure that your heart's in the right spot, or else you're going to manifest things that you don't want. So it's been a journey for me, up and down, uh,
Mhm.
but I'm trying to manifest those better things.
Yeah.
Indeed.
So, can you give us an example of those times where you've manifested something you didn't want, and maybe why, or hindsight's 2020, why did that happen?
Yeah. I think there's been instances where I've manifested things around me where it was kind of a little scary, because if you fall into those lower vibrations, and you allow people to feed off of that, some weird things can happen. Like
Mhm.
I felt like somebody watching me on the max once, and and it was just, I knew that somebody was watching me, and we were coming up on the last stop, on the next stop on the max, and so I decided to turn around and see what was kind of looking at me. And when I turned around, I saw this person, like I really flinched really bad, and then I watched that person like come off the max and take his skateboard and like bash it right over the side railing. And
Ugh.
I was like, wow, if I would have reacted different, would he still have done that? You know?
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
it kind of created a big scene, and I almost felt like a little bit responsible for it myself.
I see, because you're in a space almost I don't want to say volatile, but there was definitely some sort of fight going on within you, and then all of a sudden, boom, this is happening right in front of your eyes. I see that. I can understand that. So on the flip side, kind of, um the other side of the same coin when it comes to manifesting, what are some can you give me an example of something that really good that manifested in your life?
Yeah, yeah. I just, I'm a caregiver by trade right now. I really like to help people. And being a caregiver, sometimes you do have to find new clients sometimes. And so I wanted to find a new client. And so I started putting my efforts and searching and putting some feelers out there. And then I had the opportunity to do some work for the in my home, but it was like a little extra work, you know. I wasn't,
Mm-hmm.
I was kind of led, well, I'm just going to help out and see what happens. And so I spent about 3 hours doing some deep cleaning and cleaning this space up that I really didn't have to do, but I just put my effort right into it right away. I didn't even wait 10 minutes to start. And
Mm-hmm.
so during that time, I was cleaning. I got back to my phone after I was done, and somebody had that I didn't message. Somebody different just came out and messaged me and said,
Mm-hmm.
"We need some help. You know, would you like to help us?" And I was like, "Yes, I need a new
Mm-hmm.
client. This is great."
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
yeah,
I know you probably have like some sort of wind chime or something in front of you, but I do want to point out you have this rainbow right across your cheek, and rainbows are very, very good luck and just are an expression of the light within. So I just want to point that out real quick. It's beautiful. So that's amazing. I'm going to adjust just a little bit here. I'm in kind of an awkward position. Um, so you gave me an example right there of how you basically asked what you're needing, whether it's quietly inside or you write it down or just put it out there and you started doing the co-creation process because co-creating is really important. It's like you can ask the universe, but they also require us humans to, show us that we deserve what we're asking for. So, can you tell me a little bit about what the co-creation process looks like for you or how it feels? So that our audience can kind of get a feel of what they can do.
yeah, sure. I think one of the biggest things that during my journey that I've realized and kind of on started was connecting to source, you know. And
Mhm,
I think that there's a lot of ways that we can connect a little closer to source, and by
mhm,
having uh, closer relationships to all of life that's around us, whether it's the food that we eat. Kind of understand, well, the food's alive, kind of like I'm alive, you know. And you
mhm,
kind of give thanks to the creator, and thanks to the earth, and, and kind of have a closer relationship with your food to
mhm,
as part of having a closer relationship to the whole, since we are all parts of the whole.
mhm,
So the better relationships you have with the parts, the better relationship you're going to have with the whole, or source.
mhm,
And so that's one of the things that I one of my lessons on my journey, and it took a kind of a sad situation for me to connect to source,
mhm.
but it was a lesson learned.
Right, exactly. And do you feel like that's the same when it comes to, like your career or connecting with other people or communities, that co-creation process?
Yes, I think co-creation, with another person. I think if they're both kind of connected to source, and then they connect
Mhm,
with each other, I think that's another one of those triads or trinities. You know.
mhm, mhm. Kind of like how we met. Do you want to tell the story about how we met?
Sure,
Yeah.
sure.
This was
Yeah.
years ago too.
It's been a little while now, and time
Yeah.
flies.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Yeah, I had that situation that had me connect to source, and that was a uh, beautiful, beautiful story where I felt like I allowed some of my old energies to affect a relationship of that I had with a best friend. And I was even told by a person on the street, that I can't allow like the relationship with my mother to affect my future relationships. And of course, a week later, I did.
Mhm.
And and so that was how I came about to connect to source. And so
Was it kind of like a bridge got burned? Is that what you mean?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I allowed some of those old energies that were floating around me for 40 years to kind of rise back up because,
Mhm.
once you start this process, you'll still have things trying to bring you back down to where you were before.
Mhm.
And so I felt really alone. And so once I understood how to connect to source, I got a quick message back that I was on the right track. And after I received this message, I really started trying to progress my my spiritual path. And so
Mhm.
I found I found that I could be a spiritual healer by some of the things that I read online.
Mhm.
And I had a few instances where they were giving examples, and I hit like 8 of 10 different examples of what it is to be a spiritual healer, what kind of things you would experience to be one of those healers. And so I understood, okay, I got to figure out what this Reiki thing is all about. And
Mhm.
so I, one day I just moved into this new place, and I decided I need to do this. Sorry about that rainbow. It's a little crazy on
It's
me right now.
okay. It's okay.
But so I took my phone out and I took the apps for the map app, and I just put in Reiki, and
Mhm.
I got a hit on a place that does Reiki, like a 7 minute walk from where I was. And so I was like, well, I know what I'm doing today. I'm taking the 7 minute walk, and I'm going to find out more about this Reiki.
Mhm.
And so go to this business down in Woodstock, and I hear that Jamie is the one who does the Reiki, but she won't be in for a few hours. Well, Jamie showed up a little bit early that day. She didn't know why, I guess, until she got there, because I was
Mhm.
kind of just waiting around, and there she goes, showing up early. And so,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, that was interesting. I really felt pulled to just show up early, even though I didn't have a client yet. I was like, it's all right. This was at Essential Elements, and it was a cool place just to hang out in general and have just generalized discussion. And there you were, just hanging out. And I believe you're the one that initiated the conversation about, hey, I moved in the area and I've been curious about this, so here we are. Here we are. We have had a journey of Reiki between the two of us. I attuned you to level 2, and we've done group sessions, Reiki circles, and all that. So, can you tell me a little bit how Reiki or helped you within this manifestation process?
yeah, I think well, the Reiki really helped me feel the energies around me and be more attuned and sensitive to the energies, not only around me but inside me as well. The first time that you performed Reiki on me, that first day that we met, I could feel I think the technical term is chi, but I like to call it inner goosebumps. And I could feel you moving those inner goosebumps around my body without physically touching my body. And just to feel like thousands of individual little goosebumps inside you get manipulated and wielded by somebody else. It was mind blowing, and I'm like, I want to be part of this stuff. This is great,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And so the Reiki has really been helped me out with connecting with my energy and being able to kind of manifest on a different level than if I wasn't attuned to Reiki.
Ah, amazing, amazing. It does that mean like it makes you more aware, or do you feel like it helps magnetize you to whatever you're manifesting?
I think a little bit of both, but I do feel that the energies like uh, after the attunements, I think the energies flow a little bit better and more appropriately through the human body, and
Mm-hmm.
I think that has something to do definitely do with like manifesting on larger levels.
Very cool. Very cool. Um, so I am just curious. Have you manifested spiritual communities into your life? Because I know that's something that you had been striving for a long time, is just building connections.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Like, part of the connecting to source, I like to kind of think of it as having a closer relationship, with God. If you
Hmm.
think God is the universe and everything alive and inside it. And so, I think I've been having some positive experiences and connecting with the spiritual community around me recently, and part of this wellness network that Kriana started, and
Hmm.
being putting forth the effort of being there and showing up, and manifesting to be part of the team and being able to help out. It's going to help me a lot, but also help the community out a lot, and
Mm.
that's what I'm excited about.
Ah, very cool. Well, good job for you. Just allowing that into your life. So thank you very much. Um, so before we end our little discussion here, I wanted to ask, where you are at life, where you are manifesting, and then I also want to point out what's in your background. So if people can see the artwork in the background, Ian does coffee readings. So he'll allow the energy of the coffee, as well as, or actually I'll let you explain more about it, because it's really fascinating. I've had a coffee reading you before, and that blew my mind. I was like, no way, I did not know coffee grounds could shape into all sorts of different messages. It was amazing. Very similar to those tea leaf readings, but you chose to use coffee. Can you tell me a little bit about that, and either how you got started in it, or your hopes and dreams around these coffee readings?
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Once I had my initial awakening, um, I started seeing little things here and there, and even one of those things that I saw was I wanted to get more pure, and so like with my coffee, I even stopped putting in cream and I stopped putting in sugar, and I
Mhm.
started drinking just black coffee. And I like to French press my coffee at home. So what happens is when I press down, there's still small sediments that make it through the mesh screen that eventually
Mhm.
sit at the bottom of my cup. And
Mhm.
so I started noticing like animals, little pictures kind of showing up like in the grounds while I was finishing those kind of last sips. All that kind of sludge would start, the gravity would start having the sludge kind of fall cascade down. And I noticed that like little shapes were coming up. I'm like, what am I doing right now? Why am I seeing a polar bear chasing a salmon?
Yeah.
And And I was kind of noticing that my my I was putting my energies like into
Hmm.
into the into the grounds at the bottom, where it was kind of like the energy was flowing through my hands like into the cup, you know.
Hmm.
And I started seeing some really like crazy stuff. And so I want to what one of my goals was to be able to do readings for other people. So I've been kind of doing these kind of coffee readings for a few years now, kind of honing my skills and getting a process down about how I do it. And it's a service that I want to offer, kind of like a tea reading service for people, to where they can um, get a reading, and perhaps even a digital copy of the reading onto Canvas or
Hmm.
onto other platforms, such as a coffee cup, the outside of a coffee cup or something. So
Wow,
it's
that's cool.
I know it's a kind of woo woo, but
Uh-huh. But that woo woo seems to work for you, so we'll
yeah,
take
yeah,
it.
there might be some truth to all that woo woo.
That's for sure. That's for sure. So, do you need to do the coffee readings in person, or can you do them remotely as well?
Yeah, yeah, we can. I can do them remotely as well. It's kind of using my Reiki energies. I've been uh, fortunate enough to be able to give remote Reiki to clients as far away as South Africa.
Ooh,
And
amazing.
yeah, yeah. So, when you connect to your higher selves, and you're with somebody that wants to receive this energy and is willing to receive it, you will connect with their higher selves as well.
Hmm.
And we are able to transfer energy between us. And so, yes, these coffee readings can be done remotely, and also, it could be a fun experience to do live in person as well.
Ah, amazing. Very cool. Well, Ian, thank you so much for being a part of this project with me, this process, and just a basic journey I'm starting. So thank you very, very much for your time. And of course, everyone, if you're interested in one of Ian's coffee readings, you can comment below or reach out directly to Ian. And then also, I want to invite all of you to connect with me, comment below, or direct message me, and we can get you set up with one of these discussions so that you can, put yourself out there, have yourself seen, your voice heard, and the topic could be anything. Honestly, we can be talking about manifestation, we can be talking about your business, heck, we can be talking about your fishing trip. It doesn't matter. We just want to get to know you as you are. So, thank you again, Ian. Thank you again, community members, and have a very, very lovely day.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, Jamie. Take care.
Thank you. Thank you.